Cribs? What are you doing lurking, bud? I see you in there. What's going on, chat? I think we keep playing a little bit. Not sure what we're gonna do. Not sure where it's gonna go, but that's part of the fun. It's a little bit scary, it's a little bit fun to think about. We definitely need to figure out this clock situation for showtime. Oh, that reminds me, I need to make sure I've got Obsidian set up correctly. Obsidian is set up correctly. Looks good to me. You're up. I don't have Foundry open yet. That's the missing piece for the rolling. Been a pretty good day so far. Hope you guys are having good ones too. Yeah, Foundry doesn't want to open up. Hori. Hori, please. There we go. Ooh. What's my password? Yeah, that's correct. There we go. Join this one. Yes. Alright, one more existing question, sure. Yes. Interesting. Alright, let me make sure I can switch you guys over. There. Okay, Obsidian works better with that setting. Interesting. Okay. So yesterday we did a fairly short scene back at the Bay Earl's apartment. Showtime shows up with his compatriot Rose, who we know very little about other than she is scanning through gadgets, helping him out, and they are working on dealing with Apex Credit Solutions and this whole loan shark situation. They talked to them about them being affected by it, and we decided that Pierce would not lie to him, but not give him all the info, because Pierce views him as a rival, knowing who he is. And he wants to beat his rival at this game. his mom decided that she would give some of the information that he was not giving, but she did not give much. Showtime closes with apologizing for the inconvenience because he was reading the room a bit and hands over a business card. So they head out, and that was the end of the scene. So it's very, very short. And we learned at the end of the scene we did roll a question. We rolled if Sarah Willett is a metahuman. We got a yes. So that means I will eventually have to stat her out for something. So, because we may end up fighting someone pretty rough. Okay. So we need to figure out the Showtime clock situation here. In fact, let me move that down one slot to here. Where do we want to pick up? Maybe we pick up that day, just not directly after it. I need to be... Shit. I need to be testing scenes. Forgot to do that. Did not do my scene check. For number 4. We will do it for this one, though. We'll call it D. Scene check. D10 equals... how much time's gone by? I don't think he wastes much time. I think he spends a little bit of time back. So we'll maybe say like 10 a.m. So let's scooch up the time a bit. And since I'm playing normally, let's get out of this playlist into this one. All right. So 10 a.m. Triton City. Streets. Feels weird not capitalizing streets, but I guess it makes sense in this context. So our expected scene is we are going around gathering information on Apex Credit Solutions. I think for... How do I want to handle this? There's a part of me that wants to give a certain amount of answers or questions that I can ask the Oracle, and the Oracle will tell me truthfully, just as you would a GM, with an ability like precognition, postcog. Well, postcog probably. Precog? Postcognition, yeah, not precognition. Something that happened in the past. Or mind reading. Often goes with stuff like this, where you get to ask so many questions, and you gotta make your questions count. I think that could be fun, and we could work that into the solo play style, and it would be interesting to do that. So we got to figure out how that would work here. maybe base it off of how well my checks go. Maybe I get a question for every check. But we have to give ourselves a time crunch with it, right? So we'll use a clock system for that as well. So we're going to run dual clocks. I think what we'll do for... so there's dice pool clocks, and then there's just clocks that tick off of a trigger. I kind of like the idea of a dice pool clock for Showtime. I think we'll use like a D6 pool dice clock system where after you roll, when you roll your D6s, if any of them are ones, you toss them from the pool. And then once you get down to the last die, I will probably do something like it's 1 out of 6, and then next time we roll it'll be 2 out of 6, and then 3 out of 6 until it's just inevitably it happens, right? It's going to happen, at least. I think our clock system for asking questions, I think we'll just use a regular 4 squares clock, like just a 4 tick clock, meaning we'll get chances for gathering info in different parts of the day. I was thinking of dividing the day into quarters and using a check to figure out what we learn in that earlier quarter. I do think this means today we're going to need to flesh out I do think we're going to need to flesh out our contacts for sure here. Because most likely those are the people we're going to go to. So who... I kind of want to randomize the contacts to a degree. The important ones, at least. Also, we can get rid of Showtime's token at the moment. And we can move up the time here to 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. So we're considering how we want to handle this. Is there an easy way for me to set up... I mean, I know you can do a clock system in one of these. I thought for sure you could do clocks. Maybe not. Maybe it's a different thing altogether. Dice tray. Okay. We'll write down our expected scene here. We'll do that in italics. Scene. Static rebellion. Combs the streets for info. On Apex Credit Solutions and Sarah Willett. Alright, so we'll go ahead and roll our scene check to see if it goes as expected, because there's a possibility we get completely derailed here. So switch over to Foundry. Scene alteration, event focus. Wow, there's not just a straight up scene check, I don't think. Yeah, not really. Okay, so we'll just do a regular D10 then. Our chaos is 4, so we got a 3. We did get a something. Let's pare back some of our open materials and slide back into Mythic. Alright, so the scene check. Expected scenes. Okay, so odds are altered, evens are interrupt. We'll try and remember that. In fact, let's make note of that in our scene log. Scene check. Below CF, odds are altered scenes, and evens are interrupts. So we got an altered scene. That means something will be slightly different about the scene, but it won't be a radically changed scene necessarily. So let's figure out what that scene alteration is. Oh, that's what this is? Oh, damn. Okay, well, never mind. This is the scene check. They just call it scene alteration. I'll be able to automate that now. Interesting. So when we alter scene, I feel like there's your scene adjustment table. We're going to work with that. Now, is that built into Foundry? Is that you? Reduce or remove an activity. Let's think about what that means for a second here. So we're Thursday, early morning. So I guess the place he usually goes to is not quite as bumping as he expects it to be. So how do we handle this then? Let's go to this one. Let's figure out where he normally goes. Yeah, I think that works. So let's get a description of the place. part of the city does he go to? Lavish. Loud. Commercial district. Sounds like to me. So if we think of a city as a nebulous circle or like a square or something, and we do like north, northeast, east, etc., we get our 8 points. What direction is the commercial district? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. South side. So he heads to south side, Triton. Let's make a note of that. I mean, I keep opening Discord instead of Obsidian because they're close together. All right. We could, you know what? We probably should have just like a general like note tab. Notes. South side of Triton is home to the lavish commercial districts. So we will set this under, say, Triton City. Boom. Okay. If we need to make more notes, we make more sections for the notes. Is Apex Credit Solutions in the south side? ACS, we'll call them. Located south side? We are unsure. That last scene, I think actually our chaos factor should go up. So we're gonna go back to this because we were a little out of control with it, I felt like. We didn't really control our model getting us into some stuff. Our rival showed up. Got a glimmer of information from her, which I think what we'll take is the info that she gave him will count as a little bit of progress towards his initial clock. So he won't have quite as many dice to roll for his. And we will see. Is ACS located there? I think that's a yes. Okay. 23. Altered. Reduced. Removed activity. That's what it was. I think actually just table. TBL? TBL. Gen. City. Mythic City. Descriptors? Is that what the hell the name of this table is called? It's something like that. There's the fate chart. Boom, boom. It's called like city. Descriptors? Yeah. Lavish and loud. 48, 51. Okay. Pierce heads down the south side. To gather some info on ACS, whose office is consequently down there as well. I think he brought his jacket and his mask in case he needs to go all out this time. Made sure to pack his jacket and mask. Mask and a change of clothes. Or should he go without it? Maybe he just goes in suit. Let's alter. Whoa, too much. We don't want to. We just want to fix this. Goes suited. But carries a backpack with a change of clothes. So he goes in an outfit. So we're committing to going out as Static Rebellion, not as Pierce, to get our info. I think that's fine. I think that'll be fun. Close this, so close a few windows. I got way too much shit open. It's fucking with me right now. Much more suited to probably what we're doing right now. Okay. So he gets his stuff, says bye to his mom. Does he lie to her? Tell her where he's going? That's interesting. He's got his cell phone on him in case she needs him. I think he just tells her, yeah, I'm just going out for a walk. I'll be back later. You know. Just need to clear my head. I don't think intuition is a skill. I believe deception and detect deception are a skill. Why don't we make that a roll first? That could be fun. Tested roll. 2d6 times 3. Times 2. Oh no. Damn. I didn't think about this. He's not good at this. He's genuinely not good at it. And none of his powers affect that. That's fair. Let's find out. Let's use the Oracle. Are Sunny's mental stats the same? $33. A random event. Great. NPC negative? Delayed news. Okay, so she has a ×2 as well, so it's really going to come down to whoever just rolls better here. ×2 as well. I guess we can make note of that. NPCs. Bop bop. Sunny Bayro. Sunny Bayro? I don't know how I spelled that. M is ×2. I think ×1. Agility is probably ×0 because she's paraplegic. I think that's probably about right. Okay. And as for the NPC with the delay, delayed news. Delayed news. I don't know if I like it side by. Let's save the space. Let's just do like that. D10. If it's 9 or 10, we choose the most likely one. Is Showtime on the list? Showtime's not on the list. Actually, it should be probably like so. Rose? Showtime. Okay. Never mind. If it's D10, if it's 10, it's Rose. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. It's 2. Delayed news for Sunny. Something bad is being told to Sunny. Interesting. We'll hold off on interpreting that until we see what this contested roll is. So our 2d6 times 2 is going to be this. Bing, bang, bong. 6. So times 2 is 12. Her detection thereof. We'll assume that she is smart enough to figure it out. Ooh, she figured it out. 12 and 14. So, 12 versus 14. So she realizes we aren't quite telling the truth. Now comes the idea of, does she attempt to, does she confront us on it? And then we'll go in with a D, Oracle roll, D100 equals... You guys are on Foundry, okay. Does she confront us on our lie? Ooh, she does. 35, okay. What aren't you telling me? Hop you guys over to here so I can write it out a bit better. She asks, what aren't we telling her? She's lived with us long enough. To know when you're holding something back. He tells her he's mostly the truth. Well, no, he tells her the truth. That he's gonna investigate. That he plans to investigate. Investigate. Find more information on ACS himself. Does this appease her? Does this mollify his mother? Do a quick roll on that. No. looks a bit horrified.
What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Reveal
Tells him not to get involved. But these people are dangerous. If someone like ST.
moments of calm.
Is involved.
Nothing left to be found.
I think she pleads with us not to go. Oh.
An empty glass.
Damn. Altered scene basically became an interrupt here.
It's telling what's not to be told. I need that mask. I'm a sharpshooter. I post my
I think he's gonna go anyways.
heart in
I think he's gonna say,
all free for you to draw.
he tells her,
I'm a sharpshooter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my mask.
he's gonna still go,
Place to hide.
but that he promises he'll be careful. That he'll just stick to asking questions and won't directly confront them. He's got his cell on
I can't tell you
if she needs him.
how to see me. Just a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter.
He heads out the door despite her protests. All right, great. She's upset with us now. I don't like that. I had hoped that would go better, or that we could at least lie to her about it. I should have an investigation playlist for this. These are more like day-to-day songs. Good time songs. Do I have anything that suits it? No, those are just cool songs. Maybe some of these would work. Not that. What about this? No, this is gonna be too horror horror coded. Not quite what we're looking for. Maybe we could do something by White Bat? Do really like White Bat. Nah, that's more like a fighting song. Very cool song, though. Ooh, Agent X? My Delta Green stuff? Yeah, let's just use this for right now. So he gets out, he gets a safe distance. Finds a place to change clothes. Gets into the Static Rebellion outfit. Gets the red jacket with the gold trim. Puts on the mask with the voice modulator. Makes it tight, gets the gloves on. Gets some nice like combat boots. Double checks his pockets, makes sure he's got the bag of rubber bands in case he needs to shoot some shit at people, just to have something on him. Good to go. Now the interesting question here is, does he take the sub like this? Or does he commit to running? I do think his running is loud though, because he's utilizing the pressure of the force that he builds up, like the kinetic impact, which speeds his movement up. And I think when he uses it, you can see evidence of it on him. And I'm pretty sure you can hear it, so I don't think he can speedily sneak up on someone. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. Is it an explosive transfer of energy, or is it, how does it work? We'll have to think about that. But anyway, I imagine him having a bike. And he's probably going to take his bike and head south side. Puts the helmet on, heads down. That way, we'll say it's how many? I don't know how big the city is. I don't know how many hours away it would be. By traffic? By traffic, we'll say it's only an hour. He only spends about an hour. Is there a skill for piloting / driving? I believe there is. We did not take it. Interesting. Okay. So there is. I'm actually considering taking and switching perform instrument for drive control. I think that might lead to a more interesting situation here. Yeah. Yeah, let's make that change now before we go too far with the character, because... or do we keep it? Do we keep it and make him into something slightly different? Did he make money as a band? Is that why he's in a on again, off again as well? I'm gonna say yes. On again, off again band. So we've answered that question. We don't know the answer to this yet. Surprisingly, she could be the head of it. Don't even know. So, we get on our bike. We head down. Traffic's not too bad. Takes us about an hour to get down into Southside proper. And we're gonna roll our Streetwise gather info. I kind of want to see about our contacts first, though. Let's figure out the nature of these contacts using the Oracle, because I don't really just want to say what they are. I don't want to really do authorship of them at the moment. I do think he probably knows at least some cop. I think someone on like that list needs to be that. All right, so that's the only one I'll say for sure, authorship wise. We will predetermine because it makes sense. All right, so what's the nature of the person, the first person on the contact list? Inspect. Technology. Inspect technology. Could be an engineer, could be a mechanic, could be a hacker. A hacker would be nice. Okay. So he knows like a hacking group. Contact one, we'll call it a hacker. We will write out what it is in a bit. We'll figure out a name or a group or an affiliation, that kind of thing. We can unpause it so that time plays. Our second one, the nature of their work is inquire. Inquire weather? A weatherologist? We might be thinking too literal on that. We could use weather in the sense of like the climate of, you know, like a political climate. What's the weather like there, right? What's the mood? So inquire. So maybe a journalist? Okay. Journalist. Because a meteorologist would be probably not on the the top list of things. So we know the third one is a in law enforcement in some capacity. What sort of job would he have? Is background appropriate? Let's try rolling something on background and see. Skill bad? I don't know if that's quite what I'm looking for. Was identity a better choice here? Executive? Yeah, I think this is probably it. A helpless executive. That to me reads a higher up in the police department maybe that has their hands tied and can't do a whole lot. What would we call that person? No, just give me. Let's see. Could be someone in records. Do that. Do this. Interesting. Maybe like a sergeant? Or detective? We'll have a roll off to figure this out exactly. So we'll look at a vice officer, a detective maybe, or a sergeant. We'll do a D6 for that. I think one or two would be. Ooh, do we want to just use the most? Yeah, we'll do like a triple O roll for this. So I think the most likely person would probably be the sergeant in this case. So that would be the 4, 5, and 6. The 2 and 3 would be a detective, and 1 would be a vice officer, since that would be a little bit. And I think regardless of which one, it'd be someone with a little bit of pull. It is the sergeant. Okay, so it's like a police sergeant. always feel like I'm spelling this word wrong. Sergeant. TCPD. Anyway. He's going to try to gather information on any, like, gangs down here. So he's going down looking for anyone who might be in the know. Looking for some ne'er-do-wells. And we'll say he spots somebody. Maybe a group of people. Let's, how many? Let's see, a 4 and a 6 would be maybe 5 guys. 4 or 5 guys. Let's see. Finds a group of 4 to 5 guys. Who have the look of, who have a criminal look. If that makes sense, you know. Maybe stereotyping a bit there, but... I'm guessing like maybe a group of... My brain either thought they were... like delinquent? Like teenagers? Delinquent teenagers, maybe led by an older fellow, probably someone in their 20s. Let's find out. Delinquents led by an older, by 20-year-old, 20-ish year old. I think this is likely the type of group he might go for. 16? No, that's a yes. Okay. So, 4 and 5. Let's reword this. 5 teenage dropouts. And an older punk leading them. This might be a separate scene altogether. This almost feels like it should be a separate scene. Let's do that. So we've established so far this much. So it'll be scene 6, which is, I think, one of these. No, it's a dot dot. It's a double dipper. We'll say south side. Scene check. Anything? So she got a call. We'll have to remember that random event for her. Random event. NPC negative. Delay news, I think is what it was. Sunny. So she's gonna get some kind of news while we're AFK. Going somewhere. I'm gonna write that down there, even though that might get moved around depending on what happens with the scene check. D10 equals Foundry browser, Foundry up, scene alteration. Bada boom, it's a 2. It's interrupted. NPC action. Punish. Exterior. NPC action, punish exterior. What does that mean? Well, something happens on his way to talking to these kids. Alright, well, let's see what NPC it is. It's an older punk leading them, making graffiti in an alley. We got a 2 evens was interrupt. Interrupt. NPC action. And it was punish exterior. Punish exterior. Alright, so the NPC involved. Let's roll my D10. The only one I'll not have involved is probably the mother. 2. Who the hell is my 2? It's the mother. What does that mean? Could we make that fit? Is that possible? Maybe the delayed news is something she calls me about now. Let's find out what the nature of the news is that she gets. Or delay news. It's a negative. So the news is late coming to her, whatever it is. The nature of it is oppose battle. Oppose battle. How do we work with that? Oppose battle. Greenish exterior. Having difficulty on this one. We might have to toss it because it is so weird. Or, as I said earlier, we can just re-roll it and not accept ones or twos. So a 4. A 4 would be Apex Credit Solution. So maybe the goons are actually trying to stop these kids. Maybe some suit walks up, sees them doing the graffiti. We'll ask, is this what I expect? I'll say likely. I'm not hugely... Okay, yeah, so it's a group of goons from Apex. We're unsure why they're here specifically. The building... Oh, whoops. Well, we can use this. We can work with that. The building is... anxious and dark. It looks abandoned. Maybe got a for sale sign kind of thing. So we're not quite in the most lavish part of the glamorous South Side in this particular area that we're looking. Have the kids noticed me? Punk noticed me. Alright, they saw me. I don't imagine they're too surprised by someone who looks like this. Looks kind of punk. In fact, I think as I was approaching, one probably gave me like a thumbs up, kind of like they like the look. And I think behind them, so I'm imagining, you know, this group making this, tagging this wall, and then from the back alley part of it, walks around the, how do I draw? That might help me a little bit here. Nope, I just want a freehand. Which one's freehand? Text, freehand. Oh. White's probably okay, right? Oh, that is not good. Delete. Okay. Toggle HUD, right click. Doesn't seem to be toggling my HUD at all. Line width is like 2. That's still very big. What? Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, why is it not saving my shit here? So, we're heading down this alleyway. And there's this group here. Maybe one here. And from this side walks the Apex group. Same amount of goons, maybe? Same amount of goons? As kids? Punks? Yeah. Okay, so we got a group of 5. Five Apex coming this way. And I'm assuming they're here to stop the kids. I don't even need to ask that. They're stopping the kids. This building, though. This building here. What did it used to be? We know it's anxiously dark. So it means it's kind of a rundowner kind of place. A little bit under-maintained. What was its purpose in the past? Recruit? Failure. It was a bar. It was a dive bar. Interesting. Okay. We've rolled a bit, so let's write a bit. Building is a for sale rundown looking joint. It used to be a dive bar. Five Apex goons turn the corner, see the kids as I'm approaching. This is interesting because we could make an ally here. And this could go all kinds of ways. Ooh, I got ideas now. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta trust the process. It's weird and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but we're liking it. But there's a couple of crucial questions to ask here. What do the punks do? Number one. Do the punk kids run from the Apex Goons? We're going to leave it 50-50. They don't. Okay. That in my mind means something. And we will... I think we almost assume it to be true, but that means we're going to have to do some interesting rolls here. It's 50-50, so I'll leave that alone. Bop, bop. Let's run from Apex Goons. D100 equals 66. No. The punk kids square up. And hold their ground. So in my mind, this is because one of them is a metahuman. At least one of them. So there's how many? 4 to 5 plus? 14 dropouts in a row. Yeah, okay, so 6. We'll say 6 to make it even on both sides. How do we go about asking this so that it's the most interesting it can be? I think one of them, I think the leader, at the very least, is a metahuman. We'll have to gen him up using their random generator. That'll be fun. Bunch of slammy suits show up. Yeah. So are any of the kids metas? If they are, we'll roll to find out. Any of the kids' metas. We'll leave it 50-50. Oh, they are. Okay. I'll roll a d6 and see. 3 of the kids are metas. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So let's find out about this leader first. So we're gonna gen up the leader real quick. Some guy in his early 20s. We are looking at power suites and random tables. Oh boy, oh boy. So we need a D6. And we need to switch you guys over to see the rolling first. D6 me, Captain. We got 3. 1 major, 1 minor. Power suite. Roll 4 times on one, roll 2 times on the other. Of these things, I need 2d6 for the major and 2d6 for the minor. What? Oh my god. And then 2d6 for the minor. So this was 6 and 6. This is 2 and 1. So 6 and 6. Oh my god. This guy might be powerful. Okay. 2 and 1 is bionic. Interesting. So he's got cyborg parts in him somewhere. And we need a single d6. 1 life. So the life suite and the bionic suite. Interesting. So 4 times in the life suite, 2 times in the bionic. Not sure how to start this one off. So I guess we should have like a workbench for here. Unknown punk meta leader. Life major, bionic minor. This is times 4. This is times 2. Utility. Interesting. We'll roll one of each on life, and then we'll decide based on that what we get. The final fourth one will be, I believe it's 2d6 for an offense. 4 and 5. Weaken. Biotic Weaken. As a skill. Biotic or Weaken. Biotic. We'll do it again for defense. We got 2 and... well, 2 is just regeneration, which is pretty damn good. Regen. And then his utility. I'm going to roll both. Just in case. I think it's... okay, it is. 2, then 3. Boost. Mind over matter. We might change that to super strength. Depending on what we get here. So we're going to give him a second offense. Here. 6 and then 4. Let me go back up to the life suite. Sensory overload. Interesting. So we'll give him boost super strength because I think that makes more sense than the other. Unless no, yeah. Boost. Super strength. Sensory overload. And then for the bionic miners, oh, I don't know. How many tables we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables. Really? There's 2 that are offense though, so we can combine it to 1. So we could do a d6. What's a regular d6 tell me? What am I rolling? Number 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A sensory device. Interesting. Bop, bop. Five and 3. Sonar. Senses sonar. I think we'll do something with offense or defense or movement. I say we do defense. Something for defense. I think that'd be interesting. 3 and 4. Armor. Tough boy. Tough boy. I don't think his armor is very obvious, though. Okay. Armor. What's this guy's name? James Farrell. Probably goes by a nickname. I think next time I play, I'm gonna have a fight to do or to help with. Or at least I'm gonna witness one. So this guy, keeping watch, is James, I think. Interesting. I didn't know I could do that. Okay. Cool. I'm going to pause it for now. All right. I have got some thinking to do now. And I think for these meta kids, we're probably looking at something more along the lines of a lower power level. I'm giving him probably at least 25, maybe more. He might be on the level. For them, I'm thinking 15 to 20. And then the other kids are just normal friends of theirs. Yeah. All right. Interesting. So let's think of some questions here to ask. Let's put Mr. James Farrell on our lists. He might pop up here and there. You never know. James Farrell, punk leader. Well, I got questions now. Why is ACS interested in this building? Seems like a turf thing. So I'll have to do some thinking, figure out how to set this guy up. Because I suppose he could end up fighting us as well. Interesting. So this is what we did figure out. This is what we're currently working on. So we'll go down one like this. All right, we want a third question. What's another question to ask? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. But for now, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me to hem and hum and haw and figure out where this story is going, what we're seeing. Trying to keep it real sandboxy. I've been enjoying it. Been stumped a few times, but it's grown on me. I'm enjoying where it's going. Don't know when I'll be back. If it'll be this week or next. Nah. I'll see y'all later.